Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I have another Netflix exclusive review for you guys. I'm going to review a sci-fi film by the name of Death Race 2000. You know, recently I've been watching a lot of horror films on Netflix for my new video series where I review only exclusively horror films on Netflix. Well, I decided to change it up just a bit today by watching a sci-fi cult classic film made in the year of 1975, I believe. And it's called Death Race 2000. Death Race 2000 stars actors such as David Carradine, known for the famous Kill Bill franchise, and then we also have Sylvester Stallone from, you know, several action films such as Rambo, Rocky, The Expendables, all sorts of stuff. So pretty much what we have is in Death Race 2000 a futuristic United States of America. And in this film, they have a race that goes on every year, and the person who wins the race, they get to be they're the victor. And in this race, you have to run over people, and by running over like old ladies and babies, toddlers and teenagers, depending on who you run over, you get a certain amount of points. I believe like old women and toddlers and babies, you know, are the ones who get the most actual points. And that's pretty much it. But there's also other things going on, such as we have a rebel group in the film who is against the actual transcontinental race itself, and this rebel group is against the president because the president is the one who actually supports the race itself. So we have this rebel group that is trying to stop the actual transcontinental race from actually happening. So we have that going on too. But pretty much 5 racers trying to win the race while a rebel group is trying to stop the race from even happening. That's the plot of the 1975 cult classic sci-fi film with the name of Death Race 2000. Overall, my thoughts and opinions on Death Race 2000, I really enjoyed this film overall. Such a great film. And let me talk about a few reasons why. Let's talk about all the great things about Death Race 2000. Well, first let's talk about the concept. The concept of this film is just downright fun and really entertaining, and just a really cool concept. It's really cool just to see all the great, the futuristic setting. Yes, it is an older film, so you only see the actual, futuristic part of the town, 2, 3, maybe 4 times in all, and it's always like the background setting where the stadium seating of the actual race itself. Most of the film actually looks like they're just racing like on a highway or a countryside or like a desert of some kind. But there is a few times where you do get to see that futuristic city, and all those shots are just really cool. It kind of reminds me of like, Total Recall starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. So it's just really cool seeing like the futuristic town, and I always like seeing, flying cars and stuff like that. You don't ever see any flying cars in the film, but it's always cool seeing, you do see like a car riding on like this track way up in the air. So that was pretty cool. So like I said, the concept of the film is just really entertaining, seeing these 5 cars go at it, with like, one of them has like spikes on it, machine guns, one has like a rocket on it, although the rocket is never used, but it's still kind of cool. The design of these cars, it's just really fun, and overall just makes it for an entertaining concept. Let's talk about some of the actors. We have David Carradine stars one of the main actors, and he plays a character of Frankenstein. And I won't say too much about his character because I don't want to give anything away, but he's this guy who has been through heck and back pretty much. He's been through so many races. He's like the only one guy to survive out of like all these previous races. And it's just really cool seeing his character. Some great makeup that's done with his character, and I really enjoyed some of the quotes that he said. And overall, I thought David Carradine really stole a lot of the show in several of the scenes. There's some scenes, that, not only is Death Race 2000 a sci-fi film with a great sci-fi concept and really cool sci-fi elements to it, but it also intertwines some great drama and some great romance in there between him and another character. And I don't want to say too much about that because I don't want to get too spoilers. But anyways, David Carradine really plays a great character in the film, making you feel sympathy for him. And there's some great twists. I won't say what they are, but there's some great twists towards the end of the film with David Carradine's character, and I really enjoyed those twists with him overall. He was just a great guy. Then we have Sylvester Stallone playing the sort of, I guess you could say, the scumbag bad guy character, where he is, trying to win the race. And I really enjoyed Stallone's character too. Yes, he's kind of a d-bag throughout most of the film, but there's a cool fight scene between him and Frankenstein, played by David Carradine. There's a cool fight scene between between Stallone and Carradine that I really enjoyed that fight scene overall, and both of those characters I thought were really cool. There's also a few other notable people. I don't know the actors' names, but I can name their character in the film. There's an announcer in the film that announces the entire race, and I really thought he was cool. He had kind of a perky, uplifting personality in the film, and I enjoyed him. There was the main older woman that was the leader of the actual rebelistic group, and I really enjoyed her. Then there was the actual woman that David Carradine had a relationship with in the film, and I enjoyed her as a love interest overall. She was pretty cool. So acting as all the actors in themselves all did a great job at just giving their performance all it could be. Not only does this film have a great sci-fi concept with other things, intertwined in it, overall, it's just really fun and just extremely entertaining. It also has quite a bit of social commentary in there, where they interweave like political things and things we should be doing in the world today and that sort of thing, minority groups and that whole thing. They weave a lot of social commentary, especially towards the end of the film, and I've always thought it's really cool with films like this, add that sort of element. I've always thought that the original Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, they add some social commentary in there. And I think it's cool that Death Race 2000 did the same thing, but probably even more so than those films. It added quite a bit of social commentary there, especially there at the last 10 minutes of the film. So I really enjoyed that, just, kind of political side of the film also. So that was just really entertaining to see that social commentary in there also. The gore in this film is in abundance. There's all sorts of blood, all sorts of heads being run over. Most of the blood in this film is just people getting run over. There's not a lot of like limbs getting cut off or anything. There is a few like heads being ran over, but most of it's just from people getting ran over, because that's how the racers actually score points in the movie, is by actually running over people. There's also some really spectacular action sequences for an old 1970s film. This had some really cool action sequences, especially towards the end with all the explosions they did as the cars were driving away from them, as the rebels tried to stop them from actually racing. They try to take out the racers one by one, sort of thing. So I thought those were really cool action sequences also. So I give the 1975 sci-fi cult classic film by the name of Death Race 2000 a straight up 5 out of 5-star rating, and that's my review for Death Race 2000. So let's go ahead and go over to my TV to see what the next film on Netflix is. So as you can see the screenshot of Death Race 2000, my 5-star rating, the year, the actors, and that sort of thing. And like I said, I took a small little break from horror just to kind of, because I've been curious about this film for a while. I wish the remake was on here, because I was going to check that out, but they don't have it on here. They do have the sequels, 2 and 3 though, with Danny Trejo and Ving Rhames. But if we look at the 4 films, unless I just decided to watch something else, if we look at the horror films, it looks like the next film is a film by the name of Stakeland, which I believe is like a vampire movie where a man teaches a young boy how to live in a sort of in a world that's surrounded with vampires. So that's pretty much it. So once again, thanks for watching another video by Centipede Geek for my sci-fi Netflix exclusive review for the film by the name of Death Race 2000. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the page below, and I'll see you guys later with more videos by Centipede Geek.